Hello. Hello everyone and welcome back to the continue. We are here live. Currently got 2 people watching. Today we are going to be watching Star Trek Discovery Season 1 Episodes 4, 5 and 6. Sorry for the delays today, people. Unfortunately that couldn't be helped. I had some personal matters to deal with. And unfortunately I had to keep putting back the stream. So, in the meantime, here we are. And we've got one watching at the moment. There were 2 just a second ago. However, I'm happy to report that we have doubled our subscribers since yesterday, which is always good fun. Happy days, happy days. I'm happy to see that. So, we just want to wait for a few more to come in. And until then, we'll just hang slack. In the meanwhile as well, I'm going to prepare with Netflix. I, of course, will be watching this on Netflix. You're free to choose whatever platform you're going to watch it on. I don't really care. However, I do implore that you do have your own copies of these episodes, as unfortunately I cannot show them here on YouTube because I don't want to get a copyright strike or a copyright against me. Last time I did that, I was not allowed to stream for 90 days. 90 whole days I was not allowed to stream. And that, of course, caused some problems for me and this channel. So, in the meantime, I'm going to set up Star Trek Discovery Season 1 Episode 4, The Butcher's Knife Cares Not for the Lamb. Or the slaughter, whatever it's called. For the Lamb's Cry, sorry. Excuse me, I'm just setting up here. And pause that. Happy days. Minimize that, of course, so I can see what's going on. Yeah. By the way, if you're watching, come and say hello in the chats. And if not, well, that's up to you. Never mind. So, yeah, I'm going to go back quickly to StreamYards. And we've currently got one watching. I'm going to wait for a few more to come in. It's not unusual that some people don't come in. But it's not, unheard of. But I'm sure a few more come in. So I've set out a tweet. Hopefully we can get a few subscribers back tonight, as we did the other day. Oh dear. Well, anyway, it's fine, aren't it? No, yeah. Anyway, yeah. So we'll just wait for a few more to come in. Who knows? Yeah. Anyway, while that's going on, I'm going to perhaps add some names to that tweet while we're waiting for a few to come in. If you are watching, whoever you are, come say hello. Don't be afraid. Yeah, I do not bite whatsoever. No. It's okay to come in and say hello. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So just give me a couple of minutes as yeah. Think that should do it. Really? Think. Yeah. One more, I think. That should do it. Don't know if anyone's seen that tweet, but yeah. So we've kind of got one watching. I guess one just disappeared. There were two just a second ago, and now there's only one. Whoever you are, that one person, come and say hello. Don't be afraid, because I'm not afraid either. Yeah. All right. So let's do this. I'm going to start pressing play in 3, 2, and 1. And let's see if Star Trek Discovery holds up a bit better today than it did when it first came out. Because this is what this is about today. This is what these watch parties on Star Trek Discovery is about. Has it changed in any way? So we've got a little recap. We're going to get now a little recap of the first 3 episodes. Oh dear. And we continue. We see some sort of lightning storm going on. I have to maximize that a bit. Sorry, guys. There's something going on. Some sort of lightning storm with some sort of crystalline structure. Oh, I see. That's within the. I got you. That's not bad, actually. It's actually showing how the replicator makes its stuff. Well, I'm not too sure what's going on. It's been a while since I've seen this episode. It's been about a year when I watched it last. Well, no, over a year. Yeah, a bit over a year. So, yeah. That's actually quite cool. That's a good effect. Showing how the replicator made the clothes. That's cool. And I suppose, I know the replicators and the transporters pretty much use the same effect in older Trek. We're here having 2 different effects shows that they're utilizing 2 different forms of technology, I guess. Well, I suppose, would you really need to? I mean, the replicators really just store molecular patterns in another buffer, same as a transporter does. It's just not as complicated, maybe. So I suppose it's 6s and 2 3s. It's 6s and 2 3s. That's fine. Yeah. All right. So Michael Bird has made her way to the turbo lift and meets Saru, portrayed by the awesome Doug Jones, who is a good actor, by the way. I cannot say anything against that actor in this show. He performs his role perfectly, as he does in probably every role he ever does. So Sarah was somewhat disturbed that Michael Burnham's remained on the ship, and just made it clear that had he been consulted by the captain, he would have said there would be no room for a mutineer. So I'm glad that this storyline's carried on. It does sort of try to maintain some sort of continuity. One thing I don't like, though, what did destroy its continuity is, in the previous episode, as we saw, we had the Section 31 guards guarding all the secret labs. Unfortunately, that's gone now, and we won't see that again for the rest of this season or season 2. So I don't know why they changed that. That would have actually been an interesting. Made the show a bit more interesting, as they made it adamant in the previous episode that the Discovery and the Glenn are not like the rest of Starfleet. They're not part of the rest of Starfleet. Well, they're part of Starfleet, but they have their own sort of mandate. Their mandate is different, you know. So he's giving the crew a bit of a hard lesson as he's just putting them through some battle drills. He made a good point. He said they're now the only ship left with the displacement spore drive, and they can appear anywhere in the universe at random, wherever they want to go, either behind enemy lines or above the Klingon homeworld, without any backup, nothing. It's just them. So he's given him a bit of a bit of a bollocking. I don't blame him, but he made a good point. The point is not bad. I suppose not a lot of people want to come because we're watching Star Trek Discovery, and a lot of people have a bad taste in their mouth. As I've been rewatching this, as we rewatched the first 3 episodes yesterday, it was actually not bad. It's a lot better than what I remember it was a couple of years ago. So let's have a go. Let's just keep watching it. So Burnham and Lorca are now in Lorca's ready room, and of course he's now revealing to Burnham that he's got the tardigrade on board. Oof. Tardigrade just bashed its head against the force field. So Lorca's just asked Burnham to try and weaponize the tardigrade, as it has almost indestructible skin and claws. And she didn't look too happy with that. So now we're going into the intro. While it's going in, we're going to wait for a few more people to come in. Hopefully they do. Probably they won't. But hey. Anyway. The music, I find, still a bit iffy. Yeah. Now, I'm a bit disappointed that made some changes from the previous episodes to this one. That, again, it's no longer really a top secret ship, and certainly not a Section 31 ship like they presented in the previous episode, which is bizarre. It's just an experimental ship now. And that's, yeah. Alright. Okay, so once again we see the coffin ship of the Klingon. Alright, on the Klingon, but clearly that was just a hologram. So you've got Voke drawing a giant hologram for some reason, and speaking in Klingon, how he misses Takuma. He's praying. Well, essentially, he's talking to the dead. He's talking to Takuma, and Lorel has just come up behind him in a white uniform. Bizarre. So they're arguing about resources. So Lorel and Voke are arguing about resources. However, Lorel had the idea of perhaps blending Starfleet technology with Klingon, to which Vogue believes it would be blasphemy. Or blasphemous, whatever the right term is. It's trying hard to keep up with the subtitles and try to explain what's going on at the same time. Generally, in older treks, they'd start off speaking Klingon and then they sort of go into English. Point is taken that they're actually still speaking Klingon, but for the audience, you'd understand. But unfortunately, subtitles distract from what's going on. You're not looking at what's going on the screen. You're reading the subtitles, which is quite annoying. All right. Yeah. So it is annoying reading the subtitles and trying to sort of keep track. Well, tell you guys what's going on. But of course, you know what's going on. You're watching along, hopefully. Hello there, second viewer. Glad you to come. Come and say hello. Say hello in the chat. I don't bite. Don't worry. And if you like what you're seeing, then hit the like and subscribe. By the way, we are watching Star Trek Discovery, Season 1, Episode 4. We are currently 12 minutes. Well, might as well say 13 minutes. I'm going to hit pause if you want to come and join me and get set up. And you're gone again. Okay. Not a problem. I'll just carry on, press play. And carry on playing. Alrighty. So, as we're going along, we're carrying on watching Star Trek. Back on the Discovery, the security chief is once again talking to Michael Burnham. She's a bit arrogant. She's got a hell of a bad attitude on her. I don't like her. Yeah. And she's keeping an eye on Burnham for Lorca. That's what's going on. So the security chief is asking, basically trying to ask Michael, how can we kill this thing? The captain needs to know how we can kill it. And so forth. She's just kind of stalling. She doesn't really want to kill it. So now we're in Lorca's ready room, and Admiral Cornwall just decided to call him via holographic communications. And she's showing him a message of a SOS that was sent out from a ship that was attacked by Klingons. Ooh. The transmission cut out. Captain Trek, how are you? I'm Stream, my friend, but I want to give you a like and glad you're back. Captain Trek, it's always good to see you. Thank you for coming. And I'm always happy to see you. Good luck on your stream, my friend. I hope you're having a good time. And say hello with whomever you're streaming with, unless, of course, you're streaming on your own. By the way, I wish you a successful stream, and I'll see you next time, maybe, or later on. And also, it's good to be back, my friend. It's good to be back. It's always good to be back. Unfortunately, so once again, Lorca's giving Stamets a really hard time. He's giving him a really bad time. He wants to jump immediately, but Stamets says it can't be done yet. So she's asking what this contraction is inside the spore booth. And he says he's not too sure what it is, but whatever it is, he can't get it to work. I find myself developing a bit more of a taste for the show than what I had a couple of years back. I'm not sure if I let the Trek community influence me, or if those were my own opinions, maybe a bit of both, but definitely taking more of a liking to Discovery. I know there are some differences and some changes, but I have to say, I'm getting to like it more. Now we're back on the Klingon ship. Again, it is quite annoying that they're only speaking Klingon and you have to read the subtitles. It is annoying. I can't argue that. Hmm. So they've pretty much rebuilt the sarcophagus ship in the last 6 months since the Battle of the Binary Stars. However, they are low on dilithium to power the ship. So just ask one of the Klinger houses to provide the dilithium for them. It's not a bad way to go. So, right now, so Lorca's just asked Stamets, can we make the jump? He says, yeah, he thinks so, yeah. So now they're going to Black Alert. Lorca's just informed the crew they're about to make a jump, and as well as battle stations. I don't know why they have to go to Black Alert. They could just use Red Alert, I suppose. There's no need for Black Alert. I mean, Red Alert still means danger anyway, so why have a Black Alert? It makes no sense. Okay, no worries. Sarah's just asked for power to be rerouted from the impulse engines to the phasers. And they're now programming the spore drive for Corban 2 or Corvan 2. Let's see if this jump is, and they're now hoping if that jump is successful. Lorca's a little bit nervous. Okay, so they just jumped and they've appeared above a star well, right above a star, and it's a bit too dangerous for them. He says, "This isn't Corban 2." Who's had the turbulence? A stabber smacked his head against the metal bulkhead. It's brilliant. Ah, brilliant. Okay, so they're attempting another spore jump. Oh no, they're not. They're going to warp to get out away from that star. Okay, I thought they're about to do another jump. My mistake. Hello there. How you doing? Come and say hello in the chats. Don't be afraid. And hit that like and subscribe if you have not yet subscribed. We are currently watching Star Trek Discovery Season 1, Episode 4, and we are 22 minutes into the episode. So if you want to come and join us, get set up, let me know. I can even pause it if you like. I'll hit pause and let you get set up if you want to join with us. Okay, so I've just hit the pause button. We're currently 22 minutes and 12 seconds into the episode. I've hit pause. So if you want to join us, then don't. I'll give you a minute to set up, and then we'll carry on pressing play again. Alrighty. I guess not. Just disappeared again. Alright, we'll carry on pressing play. Doo-doo. Alrighty. Guess nobody wants to watch Star Trek Discovery. But anyway. So his sick bay and stamps his nose is all crooked and bent. And here we are, we meet Dr. Coleman for the first time, which is cool. Ooh. So he just notified the captain that he's managed to heal all the damage to Professor Stamets. He says, well, you know, a bone pressing into my neural cortex, it's only what contains, you know, my thoughts and feelings. He says, well, one day, you know, if you actually have a feeling, it might come into some use. Ooh. Lorca's definitely giving Stamets a hard time. So he wants, Stalker wants to make it abundantly clear to the crew how important it is that he get this sport drive working. So now he's playing the audio from the transmission from Core Band 4 or Core Band 3, what it was called. Or cries for help and people screaming while there's fire going on around them. Yeah, well. That's a hell of a motivator. And in the real world, that would probably work. Yeah. I guess it's not something Starfleet's used to. So the Skrulls have now grabbed a Klingon batleth weapon. It's not a batleth. And some sort of tranquilizer weapon. Tranquilizer gun. And then lowers the force field and lets out this dangerous Klingon killing tardigrade. Not a good idea. And she just killed the security chief. Yeah. Well, she's dead. I think. Fucking sick, mate. You're not going to save that. She's dead. They saved that. What? It was her own fault. You come across a creature that kills Klingons like a knife cut through butter. You don't let it out of its force field. That's just dumb. Okay, so that's some bad writing there. Well, I don't know. It was funny to watch. She had it coming. It was her own fault. I'm not sure if that's bad writing or good writing, really. Uh-huh. So we've got some Klingons in EV suits lurking around the remains of a Starfleet ship. Which ship that is, I don't know. And they're pulling out parts of the ship. I think this is the Shinzu. Is it Shinzu? It's kind of scary looking. It looks more like the Predator. But hey. Alright. So Joe communicates saying there's nothing worth taking on this deck. And L'Rell is informing that she's localized the dilithium processor. She's unplugging the processor in hopes that they can take it back to the Klingon vessel. So Voke is telling L'Rell that they might not see eye to eye on anything, but they definitely have the same goals. She's telling L'Rell tells Voke that Takuma saw something in him. L'Rell says she doesn't want the mantle of leadership as she's more free to move around if she's following someone else. I suppose being leader, you've always got a target on your back. Vokes tells her that he is lucky to have her. And I think she just asked him, "Shall we couple?" Between the Klingons, there's actually some good writing. Which is bizarre. There's actually better writing going on with the Klingons than what there is on the Discovery with the humans. Huh. So Saru is now with Burnham in the room where the tardigrade is being held prisoner. He's not too happy with that thing being there, and he still doesn't trust Burnham. Sarah just said that Burnham hasn't changed one iota. She says the right things but doesn't mean them. He says, "I was wrong to question your place here in the ship. You're going to fit in perfectly with Captain Lorca." Which shows that, of course, that a lot of the crew members of the ship are not happy with how the captain does things. He's not inspiring at all. Tilly's coming to the room. She's not one of my favourite characters. She's definitely the Neelix of this series. And I wasn't a fan of Neelix either. I couldn't stand him. I was not a fan of Neelix. He was like a cheap version of Rom. Rom. I absolutely loved Rom. Rom was beautiful. As Quark's sort of dumber genius brother somehow. He was like a dumb genius. Because he was an engineer in Marvel, but when it came to earning profit, he was thick as two short planks. But Tilly, no, she's just like Neelix. She's just sort of there. She's the comic relief, And Tilly's not my favourite character. Really isn't. She's, a bit of a waste of an actor, really. Right. No, nothing against Mary Wiseman herself. I've got nothing against her. I just don't like the character she portrays. Just don't. So they believe that the tardigrade may feed on spores. So they brought a canister of these mycelial spores in. It seems the tardigrade seems to be reacting to it. Oh yeah, he's sticking his snout out. He wants to eat the particles. Okay. Ugh. Oh God. It's kind of just sort of licked Burnham. Disgusting. Absolutely disgusting. No. No, thank you. Ugh. So they're theorizing that the tardigrade, that the tardigrade appeared on the Glen the tardigrade appeared on the Glen to go after the spores that it had in storage in its lower decks. It materialized going after these spores. So now they're in the, what should we say, the hydroponics bay where all the spore plants are, and they just beamed the tardigrade in there, and it's going right after the spores. It's one hungry tardigrade. Hungry, hungry hippo. It seems to be, well, it seems to be feeling at home in this mushroom spore forest. That clearly there's some sort of symbiotic relationship between the two. Meanwhile, back on the Klingon sarcophagus ship, dun dun dun. L'Rell and Vok are back on the ship with the Klingon, with the dilithium processor, and they found Klingons gorging themselves on food. So, alright, so the other Klingon has said, I brought food from my ship, and it seems that those who are gorging themselves join me. It seems loyalty is cheap on this ship. It says, you are useless and ugly. To which Vok replies, Takuma appointed me as torchbearer. Which he replies, for that privilege, you allowed a human to extinguish his light. The star of Kalos was lit by Takuma. The great houses are now together as one. Only until we defeat the Federation. Then we will divide again. But your strange ship, her crew and cloaking technology, all now serve me. I would sooner die, Vok says. And L'Rell stands between them. She stands with Vok. L'Rell has just betrayed Vok. She said, this is yours, my lord. And she's eating. Because the crew have been starving for quite some time, you see. So, yeah. So is it, mate? Like, what's that line? Let's see how loyal a hungry dog is. Now back on the Discovery, they put the tardigrade into the spore cube or the reaction cube. And machines have latched itself onto the tardigrade. It seems to be causing it pain. So they just informed the captain they're ready to jump to Korban 2. And they're going to make the jump. The shields have gone down to 3%. They seem to be failing above this colony. I know the Klingons are attacking in the 3 birds of prey. Now I know the ship designs are different. Yeah, I know. I mean, they are cool designs, don't get me wrong. They're just not what we currently recognise in Star Trek, unfortunately. So the birds of prey are now attacking the Discovery after it jumped in a Corban 2. And they're priming the jump engine again, the jump drive. And he's trying to trap the Klingons in some sort of maneuver to bring him in closer. He's now telling the ship to jump when the time was right, while dropping bombs. That's cool. He dropped a bunch of torpedoes like they were mines, destroying the 3 Klingon ships. The little girl asked on the colony, "Who saved us? Is it a bird? Is it a plane? No, it's Discovery." Dun dun dun. Sorry. Anyway, as we're carrying on, the Discovery crew seems to be very happy with their success, but they don't sort of clap or smile because Lorca doesn't like that. Emotions. No emotions. And of course, unfortunately, though, the tardigrade seems to be in a bit of pain. Well, it seems to be suffering inside that cage. Oh, poor tardigrade. Feel sorry for him now. So Voke has seemed to be left behind on one of the derelict Starfleet ships. And the sarcophagus ship has gone to warp. And someone just beamed in behind him. It's Laurel. Of course, Voke is now attacking her. So, "You renounced me. Only to save your life," she says. "It won't be long before Cole realizes you're here." Well, either way, it doesn't matter. "We need to go after him," he says, "to make House Takuma whole again. Now we must strategize in order to convince the 24 House to follow Takuma's teachings. You must win this war. Prove to all that you are the one true torchbearer." "You speak as if you have a way," he says. "I do," she replies. "I've stolen a raider and I will take you back with me. I will leave..." Fuck, I can't keep up. This is difficult because it's all in subtitles. She says, "There is a way for you to win this war, but it will come at a cost. It will cost you everything." Oh dear. Oh dear, indeed. Oh, the tardigrade's making funny noises, unfortunately. Shame. No, not too bad. I'm now back on the Discovery, and we're in Burnham's quarters, Burnham and Tilly's quarters. Burnham's lying on her bed, and Tilly's just tried to cheer her up a little, but it's not working. Yeah, Tilly's trying to impart some wisdom onto Burnham. However, it's not really much wisdom. Well, anyway, I guess Burnham feels sorry for the tardigrade. But yeah. Poor girl. Burnham gets up on a bed and opens up some sort of case or locker. Ooh. Oh, these are the belongings of Captain Philippa Georgiou. Oh, not good. Michelle Yeoh as a she activated a hologram of Philippa Georgiou, portrayed by Michelle Yeoh. And she says she hopes this has found her well, that this is her last will and testament. And she's leaving behind her most beloved possessions that have been in their family for centuries. And she says, I hope you use it to discover the mysteries of the universe. Which is a pretty Star Trek thing to say. And of course, when she opens it, she finds it's George's telescope. And that's the end of the episode. Wow. Just pause that there. Alrighty. Okie dokie. Well, the next one in episode 5 is coming up, so we'll let you get set up if you want to watch along. I'll give you a minute or two to do that. Whilst I light another cigarette. Alrighty. I need to get a new microphone soon. I'll probably get one this month or next month. I know I keep meaning to get one, but it's just about a timing, really. But a new one will be on its way soon. Because this one's not the best quality, fortunately. It's just not the way it is. Alright. Just give this a minute. Already. Press play in just a second. I'm going to check. Okay, so we have jumped Since yesterday, we have jumped 14 subscribers, which is not bad. Pretty good. Okay, alrighty. Let's, if everyone's, well, we're ready. Let's hit that play. Let's go. A Netflix original series. We get the recap. Previously on Star Trek Discovery. The good old recaps. You can't beat them, can you? Well, I have to say the last while we got the recap going and talk a bit about the last episode. It was okay. Discovery's leaving a lot less of a bitter taste in my mouth than it did when it first came out 3 years ago. That's saying something. That's This makes me wonder, because I knew season 2 was a big improvement on this. So I'm wondering, how is season 3 going to be good? That's So we've got some sort of flashback going on, and yeah, this flashback seems to be roaming through the halls of Discovery, and there's Michael Burnham behind the console. Not sure if this is a dream or a flashback. And she sees herself inside the spore chamber. Ooh. When she saw her other self press the button, and the injector, these big needles just injected into her, and now she's screaming. Oh, she's having a nightmare. I guess she's feeling sorry for the tardigrade, and now she woke up and Tilly's snoring her head off. She's now in the chamber with the tardigrade with Dr. Culber. So she's told the doctor that the tardigrade, since the last jump, has been somewhat sluggish and not being able to perform as well as it did before. And they're now in the middle of a battle plan in the ready room. I think they're at a starbase. Hard to say. But Lorca, Admiral Cornwall, and a Vulcan Admiral are sat around a table. And Cornwall wants that spore drive on every Federation ship as quickly as possible. She says she wants Lorca to rein in the amount of use of the spore drive, as they think the Klingons have now cottoned on that that's their secret weapon. And she wants them to, essentially to stop what they're doing, and the rest of the fleet will pick up the slack. So which Lorca replies, that's a lot of slack. He says, well, we'll have to manage. But now in the mess hall, Tilly's being annoying again. She is annoying, unfortunately. Is an annoying character. Uh, Bernard's telling us she's worried about the tardigrade and what's going on the ship, but she doesn't like it. We're going to see Lorca injecting his eyeballs. Ugh. Cornwall just walked in, turned on the lights on the ship, to which Lorca's is like blinded because he can't handle the light. He says, "Ah!" So Admiral Cornwall was giving him grief for employing Michael Burnham, to which he said he recited some article which allows him to conscript anybody uh, under his command during a time of war, which he has. But Cornwall just really doesn't like it. Just tried to offer him an alternate solution, but he said, no, this is my ship and it's my way. Essentially, my way or the highway. Fair enough. Now, Lorca is now being taken back via shuttlecraft to his ship. And they've just been engaged with the tractor beam by a Klingon D7, which is not a D7. It's some other ship, unfortunately. It's not a D7. Hello, mother. Yeah. So now the shuttle has been boarded and they're being tapped by Klingons. And they're fighting back. However, yeah. So the pilot of the shuttlecraft has been killed and Lorca's been taken prisoner. And we have the intro. That's quite some time in. How many minutes are we in? Oh, what? 7 minutes before the intro. So that's quite a long pre-credit scene, really. Okay. There's no rule that says it can't be 7 minutes something. Okay. So we've got the intro coming in already. So what's going on? Yeah, that's that design of that Klingon ship was not a D7. A D7 looks very different. Yeah. Yeah, I can understand. I mean, it is one of these few things that does make it annoying that where, especially with continuity is concerned, I suppose, that you're trying to make a Star Trek show. Unfortunately, I can understand why they made the redesigns or made new ships. Unfortunately, is that back in 2006, in a cooperative effort with Christie's Auction House, a year after Star Trek Enterprise ended, they sold CBS and Paramount sold everything: the sets, the uniforms, the guns, the filming models, everything. They sold them fucking lot, and that's just the way it is, unfortunately. Yeah. Weird. For some reason, my headphones are not level. Alright, doesn't matter. Anyway, let's move on. So, they're now going to go on a rescue mission to get Captain Lorca back, and Saru's told her we're going to make some multiple jumps into Klingon space. Of course, which is what Admiral Cornwall advised against. Now, alright. So Burnham believes that the tardigrade is less than invulnerable, and is essentially, with each spore jump, it's killing the tardigrade. Of course, Saru can't really do much about it. From everything he's been told, this thing is indestructible. Saru's now asking the computer to list all the most memorable captains, living and deceased. He's now asking the computer to use the recorded command methods of his and sort of compare them to the greats, essentially. So now Lorca's waking up in what's his name? Harcourt Fenton Mudd was now trying to fiddle with Lorca's jacket. Guess who's trying to steal something? And Lorca wakes up. Oh God! Oh dear. So Lorca's asked Mudd, or Harcourt Fenton Mudd, what's he doing in a prison, in a Klingon prison. He says, well, I'm only guilty of being in love with a woman that was beyond my reach. And while Mudd is rambling on, they found another Starfleet officer in there. So two Klingons are coming to the prison cell. And he says, "Choose your pain." And now pursues to beat the crap out of that other Starfleet officer. And they're now dragging him away. Oh my. Oh my.